So this is the last video that I'm going to do about turning your signature course into an audio course, right? If you're new around here, my name is Zuzanna and I help overstretched business and mindset coaches to leverage their time and expertise by turning their one-on-one coaching packages into self-study courses in order for them to have the impact and the income without having to compromise on their personal lives, right? So this video is for you, especially for you, if you are selling pockets of time to one-on-one sessions, be it a one-time session or a package for a couple of sessions, one after the other, let's say weekly or bi-weekly, because this is something that you need to understand. It's not a scalable business model. This is how you can get started and easily test out your framework and your ideas for your business. But once those ideas are tested and validated, you need to be able to, stretch outside your comfort zone, make the leap of faith, and start learning the ropes of building repeatable processes and systems so that the business can run itself, right? Otherwise, you are becoming the bottleneck in your business, and it means that it is just not sustainable on the long run, right? Anything can happen and anything will happen, just like last year it happened to each and every one of us. And those who had these one-on-one sessions offered made it very, let me check the okay, so those who had only one-on-one sessions experienced a huge drop in their client number, and also their income or revenue dropped because people had other issues to take care of, right? And you were not prepared or for this instance, and it meant that you were there wanting to push your business because you also had to make ends meet, and you were there caught off guard, not knowing how to leverage the atmosphere and how to go with the flow, right? And that was when a lot of the people realized, for instance, it was really nice to see that they had a dog for years, but because they were not at home together with the dog 24/7, they didn't know what to do with the dog. So they started to buy courses, self-study courses on how to train their dogs, right? Simple as that. If you have a self-study course that teaches your ideal students how to run a business on autopilot and how to design this learning experience so that the students feel empowered and motivated to follow through, like the dog owners were because the dog was at home behaving mischievously, right? Then you could have been on the top of your niche, on the top of your industry, right? And industry trends also. So far we talked about what kind of applications and softwares you need to use. I also told you that this is a really cost-effective way to do it, because if you turn or create audio course from your signature program, then all you have to do is one audio feed that is with Hello Audio, and that is around $12 per month. So it's not even a big stretch of investment for you, and you can also offer it as a standalone course and as a bonus to your existing signature program, right? Today, I want you to see the difference between offering it as a bonus and offering it as a standalone audio course, and what it means to really create and design the learning experience, the learning environment, and the learning tools and resources arranged in a way that your students will be able to follow through on their own without you having to teach lessons, answer questions, and see it for themselves. Last time on Monday, I talked a bit about what scaffolding and bridging was in education. So basically, bridging is, a process that allows students to understand the concept and bridge it to a real life experience or implementation or a problem. And thus, it allows them to be. I don't know what happened. Okay, I was just checking down. And then I mentioned scaffolding, which is Vygotsky, the great educator, created this term, but it has seen some iterations since then. And what it really means is that you provide all the necessary tools and resources for your students to be able to follow through with the learning process. Sounds something that I talk about a lot. Yes, I do talk about it a lot, and I go really deep and granular into it in the Teacher Obvious method. That is phase 3 of the Course Launch Accelerator program. But I want to really gear this kind of methodology towards audio courses, because audio courses are consumed differently than other online courses, or most probably. And then it requires us to think about what are those tools and resources that promote this scaffolding effect within the course, and how we can create it. So I am going to tell you 3 very specific tips that you can take and implement it right away to help your students who buy the audio course become successful graduates of your course, right? So tip number 1 for scaffolding is you can link most of the workbooks, so out of platform, I'm talking about the audio platform, so all the activities you can link in the description of each episode. So I don't see the need to include the transcription of each episode um, to the description, but I rather encourage you to think about what are the non-platform specific exercises that you can link within the description so your students can get easy access to it. Once you have done it, then the second tip that you can do is then make sure that those resources and tools are mobile friendly. Okay, mobile friendly, because most probably your students are going to consume your course on their phone, maybe your phone as well, but on their own phone or iPads. And that is not like, the your laptop, for instance. So you need to be very specific about the mobile friendliness of the resources that are not platform native, or not native to their platforms. And then the third tip comes from this again. Make sure that those non-platform activities are not just mobile friendly, but gives them access to implementation. So if you want them to journal, there's no need to add a link to a digital journal to the description. And most probably they are not going to stop the car or stop the recording or whatever it is, because that is a friction in the learning process, and they are not going to take out their journal to write, right? It's more probable that they are going to take out a journal and journal if this is an assignment that you usually give to your students. If you are, for instance, a mindset coach, then it's more probable if they are on their laptop, right? but it's not probable if they are on their phone. So it makes implementation more difficult. And then the scaffolding effect just scatters into pieces, right? What do you want to do to keep, you know, the bridging effect in place for your audio course? For your audio course, it is very important that you have to bridge the gap. And what is the gap? Usually in a course, the gap is between the theory and the implementation, right? But if it is a process that is laid out in a visual format in a video course, you cannot do that on your audio course, right? So you have to rethink how you present visual information. And I'm not talking about visual learners. Believe me, I'm talking about presenting processes in a manner that is audio friendly. So what can you do? You can say, imagine that you are, so you use more of the storytelling and analogy kind of presentation for processes rather than the pure logical, pattern that you can just map out and create a chart out of it on a slideshow. But what you want to do is you want to create analogies that are easy to imagine and that are easy to follow along while you are narrating that image, right? Okay, so this was tip number 1. Number 2 comes right after this. You don't want to attach slideshows to your audio course, not even if it contains definitions or certain, background information, because once your students grasp the analogy that you use, they are going to be okay to fly with it. So they just take it and implement it if and only if they find the audio clue to implement it. So make sure that you include all the invitation to your audio clips so that they start and take action on what they listen to, right? So it means, this is tip number 2, if your course platform has a layout where you just type in the assignment after the video slide shows whatever videos you are using, even if it's a talking head, you want to record all the necessary call to action or assignments and attach to them to the audio clip of the presentation, so your students know that now they have to stop listening or click on the link in the description and do something, right? So that is tip number 2. And tip number 3 is another one that comes from this. If you are giving them a call to action, that means to leave the platform without having simple and clear instructions on what to do, they are not going to jump back and forth, right? So make sure that the instructions are clear and easy to follow, because otherwise it just creates confusion and overwhelm and your students are gonna quit. Okay, so if you follow these three tips for bridging and scaffolding for your audio course, then you are promoting motivation and empowerment within your course, and your students will definitely thank you for it. If you want to learn in more in depth about creating online courses, then Course Launch Accelerator audio book and what is the name? Yes. Course Launch Accelerator audio course and playbook is open for enrollment. If you want to check out the registration page, do not hesitate to DM me, because I have a special pre-sale link that you can get access to the course with, because I am still, building out all these bits and pieces that needs to be added to the original clip, so that it makes it easier for you to follow through, because I like to walk my walk and talk my talk, and I walk my talk, and to Yeah, it was lovely to meet you. And next week I am back with a regular Course Correct show every Wednesdays around 4 p.m. GMT, which means 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it is going to be about all the juicy bits and pieces of bridging and scaffolding, and to understand what it means to facilitate the learning process instead of just, letting your students fly by their pens.